And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Welcome to the Friday night Man Hour After Dark. Let me be the first to welcome you all to our Man Hour After Dark show. And let me see if I can't bring in my right-hand man for tonight, the peanut butter to my jelly.
Woo!
Mr. Sexiness himself.
Let's
Must
get
have
it, baby.
forgotten. What happened to the Lions jersey? Not rocking it tonight?
It is right here. It is right here. So if we do decide to talk some Detroit Lions as they're going to beat down the who are they playing tonight? Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, if people want to jump in and talk some shit, I do got the Lions jersey handy. Hoppy. She is ready to go. 100%.
I mean, the Lions fans are talking all that shit, making people buy those ugly ass fucking bank robber masks. The fans showed up, but the Lions certainly did not show up. So we'll see if they can rebound and get to 2-1 this coming Sunday.
Probably not. No, probably so. I do have the Lions winning this game actually though. Hoffy, let me pull out my notes from earlier today. I forgot who they played off the top of my head. Where are my notes? That is from. Oh, here it is.
Here's the Falcons. They're going against the 2-0 Falcons.
Yep.
You know, their rookie running back's been looking pretty good. You know, Pitts is there. Riddler is looking like he is someone that might be bringing the Falcons to an NFC South championship this coming season.
Let's slow it down there, baby Hoffy, because we still got the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We still have the undefeated New Orleans Saints. And you want to know a team that isn't undefeated, Hoffy? The Buffalo Bills. And that's who Alpha Rob's team is tonight. What's up, Alpha Rob? Glad you can join us here on the After Hours show, Robbie. But yeah, the Buffalo Bills are not undefeated. And they're probably going to be 1-2 after they lose this weekend.
Well, I mean, you brought up the Buccaneers and, undefeated. They are our Monday night football game this coming Monday against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has looked somewhat uneven under center. I mean, he's completing about 67% of his passes, but I believe he only has 364 yards total this season. He does have 2 on the ground as well. So do you expect him to continue to struggle, especially those wide receiver weapons have it seems like they're just not quite gelling yet. So tough task against a pretty good Bucs defense. How do you see that one playing out?
Yeah, so let's not get it twisted. The Philadelphia Eagles are still a really, really good team, but they have a new offensive coordinator, Hoffy. They have a new defensive coordinator, Hoffy. They have a whole brand new backfield. There's still a lot of growing pains, but some of the bright points for them is DeAndre Swift. He actually went off a little bit, and now he has 8 yards rushing for 1 tutty. The one thing that does concern me, though, is that they are kind of being so conservative. And when they were up, I believe it was 17 points on Sunday. Forget who the Eagles were playing last week, but they were
Thursday against the Vikings.
Yeah, they were up 17 points, and AJ Brown was pissed because he was not getting the ball. He was throwing a temper tantrum on the sideline, and he's like, "Hey, guys, we are up 17 points. It was started at the fourth quarter. He's been targeted 4 times and only caught 3 balls. He was legitimately pissed off." The Smith guy, what's his name? Help me out there. Smith.
DeAndre Swift?
No.
Oh, Smith. Yeah, sorry. The wide receiver.
Devontae Smith. He was going off. He was completely going off. So I was very confused of why AJ Brown was so upset about that. So this weekend, this Monday night game, which first things first, are you a fan of these two Monday night games? I don't like it at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I hate that I have to split ABC or ESPN. Which one? But that is beyond the point. I feel that Jalen Hurts is going to overstimulate trying to get AJ Brown the ball. So therefore, he's going to force the ball a lot. We are going to see some turnovers. We are going to see them force the ball. We are going to see them probably abandon the running game as well. So if we are going to pick winners of this game, Hoffy, I am picking the Bucs to win this game. I am picking the Bucs to go 3-0 and to knock off the mighty Philadelphia Eagles. And I just think the Bucs are the real deal, to be honest, because their defense, yes, they gave up some yardage versus the Minnesota Vikings week 1, but who hasn't, right? The Vikings have a really good offense, terrible defense. Baker Mayfield is the real deal. Just face it. Baker Mayfield is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown for 500 yards, thus far this season, and his defense has held, has only given up 17 points in each game. So I do agree with you that this is a game to watch, and I do think that the Bucs will pull this game off. Like you said, I think Jalen Hurts is going to try and force the ball to AJ Brown, and that's going to bite them in the ass in the end here.
Yeah, and the guys, don't get it twisted. We are not saying that the Eagles are a bad team. I just think the Bucs are a lot more complete team right now. They don't have a brand new coaching staff. The only thing the Bucs have new right now is their quarterback, and Baker Mayfield is freaking Baker Mayfield. Don't get it twisted, baby.
He's got that system down, like we already said, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions through 2 weeks. But I do wonder, is this, he's a hit and miss kind of guy. Could this be a game where we see, 175 yards and 3 interceptions and no touchdowns, Right. But I'm till we see that, I'm going to continue to ride out with my guy Baker in the Tampa Bay Bucs.
So Alpha Rob brings up, what was AJ Brown complaining about? He was complaining that he wasn't getting the ball. At that particular time during the argument that took place, it was between him, who is the head coach again? I don't forget his name. And then Jalen Hurts. Like, they were all kind of arguing, saying, I want the ball. I want the ball. You could read his lips. At that particular time in that game, he only had 4 targets for 3 catches for like 11 or 12 yards. It was a very stupid reason to get upset. Martinez Matthews in the chat too. Sorry, go ahead, Hoffy.
Yeah, and then they, the press conference afterwards, Nick Sirianni, their coach was asked about it, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And the reporter's like, we literally watched you go up and separate the two, and he's like, it wasn't me.
You were literally in the middle of it. You're saying, calm down, we'll get you the ball.
Yeah, I see a little bit of drama on that sideline, so we'll see how that one goes.
Winning cures all, though, right? Being 3-0 is a lot better than being 2-1. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Pats fan, but I don't know that they really won that game. I think the Pats more so lost that game, and then last week they almost found a way to shoot themselves in the foot against the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson. Yeah, Justin Jefferson has 2 weeks now with 150 yards. He's looking to become the first wide receiver in the first 3 weeks of the season to hit that mark. That being said, I expect Mike Evans to have a big game against this Eagles defense.
Oh, I like that. Martinez Matthew says Baker will not throw for over 300 yards. I don't think Baker Mayfield needs to throw over 300 yards for them to be successful. Hoffy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So,
like, when we look at the stats of Baker Mayfield so far this season, yes, he does have 490 yards passing. Yes, he did light it up for 300 plus yards versus the Vikings. Last week, you can say he took a couple steps back, right? But the Bucs have been kind of that balanced attack all season long. They've been getting a healthy dose of Rashad Wright and a healthy dose of Baker Mayfield. When you complete 70% of the passes, I don't care if you don't throw for 300 yards. Hoffy, I put this fact out there this morning. Give me a team that has not eclipsed 400 total offensive yards in 50 straight regular season games. Can you name that team?
Philadelphia Eagles.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have not eclipsed 400 total yards in 50 straight games. Second on that list, the Arizona Cardinals at 17 games. So the yardage doesn't matter. Just as long as you have a good defense and a solid balanced game, you can win a lot of games. 300 yards is not the make-all, be-all, Martinez.
I agree, but at the same time, the Eagles have given up 300-plus yards to Mac Jones, and
Mhm.
300 plus yards to Kirk Cousins. And we'll call that Kirk Cousins game prime time because it was on a Thursday night. And we all know how he, performs in prime time. He doesn't. He does not show up, and he
Or does
still
Daniel
threw for
Jones.
300 yards. So that being said, I don't think it'll be a difficult task for Baker Mayfield to throw for 300 yards. But as you said, that's not the end all be all in NFL anymore.
Yeah, and
A balanced
Alpha Rob
offense is
seems
what's
to
going
agree
to.
with that. Alpha Rob agrees with that. Brandon is in the chat here. Hoffy, he says, question for you. Better game this week, Baker Mayfield or Justin Fields?
Let me
That's easy.
figure out who.
The Justin Fields are playing the best team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, baby. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield will have a hands down better game. Justin Fields can literally fall out of a boat and still he will miss water. The Chicago Bears are complete shambles right now. Hoffy, do you know why their defensive coordinator resigned?
I'd resign too if I was part of that shit show organization.
No, he was looking at
Due to
child porn.
stress.
Child porn. He was raided by the FBI for child porn. Like, but yeah, Baker Mayfield will have the better game. I mean, like, now stat wise, Justin Fields might go off stat wise. He might be the first quarterback in Chicago Bears history to throw over 100 yards. Might be, right? But Baker Mayfield will have the better overall game.
I mean, I agree with you, but we'll keep it in the NFC South. We have our boy Jordan Love going against the undefeated New Orleans Saints. He's looking to be the third quarterback to start the season 3 games in a row with 3 touchdown passes and no interceptions, behind your boy Patty Mahomes, who has done it twice now. I think 2018, 2019, and then you have Peyton Manning, who has also accomplished that feat. So. Is this going to be a continued success that we've seen for Love and the Packers?
So as you guys know, I am a Jordan Love lover right now. I think Jordan Love is probably the best quarterback in the NFC North after just 2 games. Hell, preseason, I'm saying Jordan Love is going to be the best quarterback in the NFC North. With that being said, Hoffy, he has done both of those feats, right? Completing 3 touchdowns in game 1 and game 2 without his 2 best receivers and his left tackle out. Christian Watson has been out. Aaron Jones, their number 1 running back, was out. Romeo Dobbs was out last week as well. And now David Bakhtiari is out as well. So think about this. Once he gets that whole core back, once Aaron Jones is back, that solid running game. Yes, AJ Dillon is a workhorse, but let's just be honest. AJ Jones is the dog. Or sorry, Aaron Jones is the dog, right? Christian
Absolutely.
Watson is the best receiver on the team. Hell, he might even be a top 10, top 5 receiver in the NFL once he gets a chance to eat, right? Yeah, guys, yeah, Jordan Love will probably throw for another 3 touchdowns this weekend versus the Atlanta Falcons, right? Is that no, the Lions play
the Saints, but you kind of just answered the question I was going to ask you. I mean, the Saints have not given up more than 20 points yet this year, and I think it's been about 10 games in a row now of 20 points or less with under Allen and his Saints team. They've only given up 1 touchdown thus far this year, so I think you kind of answered it. But does Jordan Love?
Hang on, you can miss some PATs. You can double doink it, right, Bears fans?
You just won't stop shitting on them, will you?
But yes, I do think, like, honestly, Hoffy, I think this game kind of might be a shootout. I mean, this is Jordan Love's first home game, right? As a starter of the Green Bay Packers, this is his first home game at Lambeau Field. Emotions are going to be crazy. Lucky for them, it is a noon kickoff, so the fans don't have that much time to get that liquored up. They'll still be drunk and they'll still be rowdy and they'll be loud, right? But at the same time, 1 o'clock game, you don't got it quite the pregame hype. Maybe you have a flyover. It's supposed to rain. I think this game actually is going to be a shootout, and I do have the Packers winning this game. I do believe. Yeah,
I mean, they're favored 1.5 points, so I think it's safe to take the over, and I think that you could cash in on that one. I'll let
Yep.
you.
Carson Lang. What's up, Carson? So, Hoffy, let me tell you a little story about Carson Lang here. Me and Carson used to play slow pitch softball back in Kansas, right? There's this overnight softball tournament. It is called the Onega-Pot County Fair, right? You start playing softball Thursday night about 7 p.m. and you go till Sunday afternoon. You can have games at 1 o'clock in the morning, 4
Yep.
o'clock in the afternoon, right?
Been a part of them.
48 hours, right? Carson, in between games, we've been boozing all night, just like all day, right? Just drinking, pouring them back. Carson sees some 12-year-old kids playing basketball. This man walks up, is like, you know what? I can school some kids at basketball. Carson gets crossed up by a 12-year-old in Crocs. His ankle is this freaking big, and now he wants to talk shit on my Kansas City Chiefs. You want to talk shit on my Kansas City Chiefs? First of all, the Chiefs are 1-1. They are. They are 1-1. But you do realize that they have the youngest wide receiver core in all of NFL. Their defense has not skipped a beat from last season, right? With Chris Jones, they are a very dominant top 10 defense in the league. Better than Miami, better than the Jets, better than the Chargers. They might be up there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They might be neck and neck. If we go back and we play that Detroit line game again without Travis Kelce, without Chris Jones, the Kansas City Chiefs will win that game. Just everything was a perfect storm in that game. Opening game of the year, too much hype, 8 drop passes. You get paid to catch the damn ball. You catch it, you see it, you look at it, you're like, I don't want it, and you drop it and you pick 6. It is just ridiculous. The Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. No. Back it up. Carson says, was not crossed up. The kid pushed me behind. With the Chiefs, who did they have that wants to catch the ball besides Kelce? They don't have any proven receivers. They don't have any proven receivers yet because the season's still young. Still week 3. Give it till week 5. Sky Moore will step up and be the guy. Ricky James from San Francisco, I think is where we got him from. He will step up and be a dog. Tooney, we're going to trade him back to the Giants for like free. Like, get that man out of town, right? But let's not sleep on my man, Justin Watson. Justin Watson has been a dog, Hoffy. Justin Watson is that deep threat that the Kansas City Chiefs have been needing time after time again. And oh, by the way, we still have MVS. Marquez Van Scanlon. He was pretty good in Packerland. He's even getting better each year with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just saying. The Chiefs will be okay. They'll be better than the Buffalo Bills. Alpha Rob, Carson, both you guys, the Buffalo Bills are complete trash holes. When you lose to whoever you play this week, who did the Bills play this week, Javi?
The Bills are going against the Commanders this week.
The Commanders are going to walk all over you. Sam freaking Howell, baby. Let's go. Actually, I think I do have the Bills winning. Let me look. I can't even read my own handwriting. Isn't that bad? I actually don't have that game wrote down. Why do I not have that game wrote down after Patriots? I must have just skipped that game. I'm picking the Commanders. Commanders upset the Bills.
Well, you bring up the Patriots. They have won. They've taken the Jets to the woodshed of late. 14 games in a row. The only other team that has a longer win streak against a team would be your Kansas City Chiefs at 15 against the Broncos. But that being said, how do you see the Patriots playing out against the lovely Wilson-led Jets?
So let me tell you a story, Hoffy. Back when I was in high school, back long ago when the trees were still green and men were men and women are women, we only had
Jesus.
2 genders and 2 bathrooms. Back in the day, we used to play a team called Silver Lake Eagles. This team repetitively owned us year after year after year. Ever since I remember in like 4th grade, we knew that Silver Lake was always better than us. Like it was a mental mind fuck, right? You know that this team owned you over and over and over. And it doesn't matter if we bought a brand new coach in, we had a whole brand new class in, mentally in the back of your head, you're like, man, these guys beat us every freaking year. And right now, that is where the Patriots are with the Jets. It doesn't matter if you had Aaron Rodgers or Lazard or Cobb or Delvin Cook or whoever else. Every rookie, you can have a whole brand new team in there, right? But the fan base knows, man, this ugly ass blue and red team with the stupid ass man hiking the ball on the side of their helmets owns us year after year after year. And it is at New York. The fireman chief dude that always wears that little fireman suit,
Fireman Ed,
he may not even show up. For whatever reason, the Patriots own the Jets. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who the coaching is. The fan bases know, shit, New England is coming to town. We're going to lose. I think that streak continues. I think the Patriots do go in to MetLife Stadium, the home of the bad turf, right? Because turf causes all those injuries, Hoffy. The Patriots go in there and they wipe the floor with the New England Patriots wipe the floor of the New York Jets, just because of the simple fact of that they know that they own them. And we have been talking, right? 0-2. Last time the Patriots went 0-2. Yes, 9-11 did happen. Sorry about that, right? But they won the freaking Super Bowl. They got hot. They started to click it, and they won the Super Bowl. When you look at the Patriots, Hoffy, yes, they did lose to the Eagles opening day. You knock out that first quarter, they win that game. They dominated from the second quarter through the fourth. They beat the Eagles. Well, let's just be honest.
Yeah, and I mean that if that wide receiver gets the 2 feet in bounds, we're it's first and goal, and we're
right.
touchdown away from winning that game.
Miami Dolphins just last week, they held the high-flying Miami Dolphins to 24 points total, 7 points in the second half. The Patriots are putting everything together. Just like we're talking about the Eagles, brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator of a coordinator. The Patriots, new running back in Zeke, new offensive coordinator and Bill O'Brien. They're coming together. Look out for the Patriots, guys. They are still a really, really good team, and they're going to make some noise in the East. Buffalo Bills, watch out. Miami Dolphins, watch out. New York Football Jets, wax that ass, baby. 15 in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned that the defense played pretty well against those Miami Dolphins. I mean, we were without the number one cornerback in Jones. We had a rookie cornerback in Gonzalez going up against, Hill and Waddle, and he held those guys in check and even had an interception. So I think that the dominance still continues over the New York Jets. I think what they have to do, the keys to them potentially winning that game, though, is Breece Hall only had 4 touches last week. Against the Cowboys, they were getting their asses kicked. You got to throw the ball, but I think they have to try and control the run game and get Breece Hall and Cook the ball and keep the ball out of Wilson's hands, because Belichick will force Wilson to make those mistakes. He does it year in. It's why they've won 14 straight. So I think it comes down to the turnover. If they can win the turnover game, then they have a chance to win. But I don't think that's Robert Saleh is going to put 2 and 2 together. Nathaniel Hackett, I don't think he's very good. I think the only reason why he's ever been decent is because he had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not there right now. He's watching Dolphins masturbate or whatever the hell he's doing, trying to heal that ankle. But I don't see that one. I don't see the New York Jets giving the Patriots an 0-3 start to start this season.
I actually did hear that he's drinking his own urine, because apparently if you drink your own urine, your body heals faster or something. Like, I'm being serious about that. But the reason why Breece Hall is only getting those 3 or 4 touches, Hoffy, is because of what I said, about a month ago. The New York Jets almost have too much firepower. Look at the backfield alone. They have 3 running backs on their roster that could probably be started on any other team. Michael Carter Jr., Delvin Cook, and Breece Hall. All of those guys want to eat. And then they got that Israel guy, right? That rookie. If you've been watching Hard Knocks, that guy is a dog, right? It just like I said this before. There is such thing as too much firepower, Hoffy, and I think the Jets have too much firepower. You cannot let everybody eat. You cannot let Breece Hall get his 15, 16 touches in a game because Delvin Cook doesn't get his. Michael Carter Jr. doesn't get his. What about Garrett Wilson? What about Allen Lazard? It's just at some point you have to realize, hey, this is the plan of attack. We're going to give Breece Hall the ball 20 times a game. Eat, baby. And I see this. John says the Jets need a quarterback. Is Zach Wilson that bad, or has he just not had a chance to shine? Because when we look at it,
bad.
I mean, well, he did beat the Buffalo Bills, right? On 4-4.
No. Josh Allen beat the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, either way, it is a win for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has more wins than Justin Fields in his career. I'm just putting that out there. Zach Wilson has more wins than Justin Fields in his career. And then last week they played one of the best defense in the NFL in the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, they did muster up 10 points. But you have to realize they did have one pass for 69 yards. Zach Wilson to Garrett Wilson. Fire, baby. I'm just like, give Zach Wilson some time. Now, obviously, they're not going to beat the Patriots this week. But moving forward, they can play well against the Chiefs. They can beat the Broncos. They can beat the Eagles, and they can beat the Giants. So I'm not saying Zach Wilson's terrible yet.
I don't think they have a chance against the Eagles. I think that the Eagles will wax that ass too. But I do agree with the other teams. But another team that we've already discussed as well tonight, you know, their defense, the Steelers, has been phenomenal. But the one thing that lacks is their offense. In their 26-22 win this week against the Browns, they did not have a snap inside the 30-yard line of the Browns. First team to pull out a W since 2015 when the Dolphins beat the Ravens 15-13 in week 13. So will this be the week that Kenny Pickett finally throws multiple touchdowns, or will the Raider Nation live on with a W after Sunday night?
So I was actually talking about this earlier, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers, they are 31st in total passing yards. 31st in total passing yards. They are 30th in yards per play. They also have had 50 games in a row, regular season games where they have not eclipsed 400 yards. So obviously the offense has been very anemic for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a very, very long time. The reason why they beat the Browns is they had 2 defensive touchdowns. Let's just be honest. It is what it is, right? But with that being said, I do think they step up, right? I think the Buffalo Bills put the blueprint out there of how to dominate the Raiders, and the Steelers should mock every freaking bit of that. Kenny Pickett should go off. They are in a dome, right? They are in sunny Vegas. They are in a dome. Don't have to worry about wind. Don't have to worry about crowd noise because nobody shows up to Raiders games anyways. Sorry, Jim Powell, but your Raiders just are not very good for a very long time, and they suck. They spent $1 billion for a away stadium for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's just be honest. But I do think Kenny Pickett does step up and play this game. Now, will he go off for 300 yards? No. 220, 250 tops. What is really going to be the bread and butter for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season are the defensive plays, right? TJ Watt has 81.5 sacks in 80 career games. Ridiculous, right? That man is just a Greek god out there. But Najee Harris is going to be the X factor every game for the Pittsburgh Steelers day in and day out. Kenny Pickett needs to increase his play every game, right? He needs to be about that 200, 225, 250 mark passing every game just to keep defenses honest so they don't pack 6, 7, 8 guys in the box. But I think Kenny Pickett will do okay. I think he will find the end zone twice. And I do have the Steelers beating the Raiders at Las Vegas. And this is that Sunday night game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I do have the Steelers winning that game, and I think it's going to be like a 28-10 score.
I mean, Alpha Rob, excuse me, with the Steelers don't have Allen. I mean, you don't need Allen when you have the Raiders who are giving up 81.7% completion, percentage on their passes, and they've given up 116 passer rating, which is second worst in the entire league. I mean, I think this has the making of, like you said, a Pickett coming out party. I think anybody struggling would love to go against this Las Vegas Raiders defense.
Yeah, we see some anal chats in there. Sorry, Raiders Nation for life and like in the chat there. What's up, John? Said Max is going to eat. Max is 3 years sober. I saw that earlier today, Hoffy. He has not had any substance for 3 years. So congratulations to Max Crosby for being sober. But Max Crosby is not going to eat. Sorry.
Being sober doesn't get you dubs.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Congrats on being sober, but yeah, it's Najee Harris going to run you over like a bitch. Moving on, dude.
We haven't I mean, I'm sure you talked about it in the morning show, but I know you have, but we haven't talked much about the Cowboys and losing their star cornerback. How do you kind of feel about Diggs? Is that going to the Cowboys have made a believer in me. I'm a huge Cowboy hater. It takes a lot for me to say that they might be one of the best teams right there with San Francisco. Do you think that they still can hang in the NFC East as well as the NFC without having Diggs?
So as you guys know by now, if you haven't heard, Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL on Thursday. It was a non-contact injury. So 9 times out of 10, we all speculate it's an ACL. We did find out it was an ACL later that day. But this is what's great about the Dallas Cowboys, right? Is their front seven has been dominating all season long. Yes, it's only 2 games, right? But if you type in Dallas Cowboys highlights, every defensive highlight is going to have Micah Parsons in the quarterback's face. Whether it's an arm length away or sacking the quarterback, Micah Parsons is going to be there. Yes, Diggs did get that big deal in the off season. Yes, Trayvon Diggs does have that big notoriety, right? But let's just be honest. Let's talk about last year, right? Or maybe it was 2 years ago when Trayvon Diggs led the league in interceptions, right? He had 12 or 13 interceptions, like seven games in a row. He had a interception, right? He was going off. But at that same time, that same year that he was going off, he was the most beat cornerback in the NFL. He was getting beat almost every other play. It was either he got an interception or he got beat deep. So now it is a loss. It sucks that he is out. Yes, because he is a starting right cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. But they picked up a cornerback by the name of Stephon Gilmore this off season. He is really kind of shaping that whole defense as a whole. He is bringing a little parts of the New England Patriots, a little bit of the Indianapolis Colts there, and he is just infusing the Stephon Gilmore way, right? And Trayvon Diggs' backup is Bland, which he was a starter for the Dallas Cowboys last season. So it is not like they're picking some guy up off the street to replace Diggs. They're replacing a former starter that was in a backup role behind Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs. So I think the Dallas Cowboys will be okay. The Arizona Cardinals and Josh Dobbs are going to try to exploit that. I don't know how, because Micah Parsons is going to be in the face, but the Dallas Cowboys will be just fine. Their front seven is the bread and butter, and they have a very game managing offense, which keeps the opposing offense off of the field, which that is your best defense. It's keeping the other offense off the field, Hoffy, anyways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. The other thing that I've heard you speak a lot about, and I've, bit my tongue, but I'm coming to realize that maybe Buck is always right. And that was watching last night's Giants 49ers game and thinking that the 49ers might be able to plug in any quarterback and still be good. Because I don't. You can look at the box score of what Brock Purdy does every week, and if you look at just the box score, you're going to say to yourself, he is something special. But when you physically watch him every play and see, I think it was maybe 2 throws I counted yesterday that were like, wow, he's special throws. But I think I counted about 7 or 8 where it was like, what in the flying fuck? I didn't know I was watching Josh Allen here. So that being said, I do think that Brock Purdy might be a flash in the pan. And do you think that there is any potential that we might even see a replacement at quarterback and see Sam Darnold come in at some point this year?
So let me ask your last question first here. There is no way that they're going to openly bench Brock Purdy for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has a proven track record so far of being a failure at the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. The only way Sam Darnold will get in there is if Brock Purdy gets injured. Now, we're not wishing injury on any way, shape, or form, but I did talk about this earlier, and I was like, man, the 49ers are the deepest team in the NFL. They have legit 2 running backs that can either or, right? Wide receivers from top to bottom. You can put anybody in there. Hell, you could put in their 5th, Ray McCloud, the 3rd in there, and he's still going to eat at wide receiver. We always forget about George Kittle, right? And that fullback, right? Jeshik, or however you say his name, right?
Yeah.
Yep. We forget about how good he actually is. But to answer that question, I broke down film of Brock Purdy earlier this season. And everything that you just said, I said that last season. He has a very inaccurate arm. He doesn't make good decisions. When he does step up in the pocket, you don't know if the ball is going to sail on him or go in the dirt. He is just not that guy. Now, if Brock Purdy happens to go down, Sam Darnold does come in. We just talked about how deep the San Francisco 49ers are, Hoffy. Not only do you get a backup quarterback in, I think you do get better at quarterback. I think Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Write that down. He's the 3rd overall pick for the New York football Giants as your backup quarterback. Do you realize, Hoffy, at one point, the San Francisco 49ers had a 2nd overall pick and a 3rd overall pick in their quarterback room, and neither of them were starters? Like, wrap your head, but yes, to answer your first question, I think you can legitimately put any quarterback in that system and they're going to be successful. Brock Purdy, I saw comparisons of Tom Brady, the perfect game manager. Yeah, he makes all the right decisions. It is the Kyle Shanahan system. It is the people that they have around them. Now, if Brock Purdy continues to be successful the way he is, and this team continues to be successful, he is going to get a payday. He is going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL just because that's just the way it is. And once the 49ers do that, their Super Bowl window went from here to here, and now it's completely shut because legitimately any quarterback can play in that system. Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, anybody.
Yeah, I think with paying Kittle, with paying Deebo Samuel, with paying Ayuk, some of those other guys, McCaffrey, you got Bosa. I don't think that you're going to be able to afford, Purdy. I mean, right now he is the lowest paid quarterback in the league right now. What, 900,000 or whatnot? I mean, that's like poverty in San Francisco. He's got to have a freaking roommate. He's living with his offensive lineman, but.
True. I mean, we're not even kidding. Have you guys been to California? So I actually got a job offer in San Francisco, right? And it was making like top six figures. I'm talking like $650,000, $700,000 like a year. And I'm like, where the F do I sign up, right? And then I looked at a price for an apartment. I'm like, what? You want $12,000 a month for an apartment? That's more than my house payment here in Indiana. What? Like, you're ridiculous. But yeah, you were right.
That's why I only lived there for 3 years.
He could throw dump passes to Christian. Listen, use and abuse Christian McCaffrey all you want, because after this season, he's going to be hurt for like 3. I'm just saying.
I mean, I thought of this myself today. I think if Tom Brady would have ended up in San Francisco instead of with the Buccaneers, they would have won 2. I think he would have won 2 out of, at least 2 out of the 3 years that he extended his career with those Bucs, with that offense and with that defense there in San Francisco. So, I think that like you said, they're not going to make a change with Brock Purdy, but
No.
I think it would benefit them. Not wishing injury upon anyone, but I think it would benefit them having someone other than Purdy as their quarterback, because you could say it's the still getting the rust off from the arm injury, but I saw this last year in some of the throws. They are my NFC team, so I didn't want to admit to it, but I'm starting to think that
Right.
Brock Purdy is, like you said, just a flash in the pan.
If you guys want to see the real Brock Purdy, watch his senior year tape, Iowa State versus the Kansas State Wildcats. And everything that I'm telling you that Brock Purdy is a bad decision maker, weak arm, all this other stuff. Watch that game, watch the first quarter alone, and everything that I'm telling you, like, man, fuck, Buck is right. What a terrible throw. Wow, there's a pick six. Oh, wow, he stepped up in the pocket and he still didn't make the right decision. Like, what is wrong with this guy? It just mean, he gets bailed out. Look at the highlight tapes from last season. Brock Purdy to Deebo Samuel. Every pass he threw to Deebo last season was up here. Deebo had to make one-handed catches damn near every play. Every play.
If Deebo wasn't a brick wall, he would have been killed last night. I mean,
100%.
he absolutely does not lead his wide receivers in the right position by any means. I mean, he leaves them out to dry. But when you're 450 pounds of just muscle, and you hit Deebo Samuel and you bounce back 10 feet, you learn real quick that that's not someone that you want to you don't want to continue hitting.
Deebo is the type of guy that you lay on the back and put oil on and lick it and like butter off of his abs. Just amazing.
Moving on. Do you think the Bengals get their first W of the season, or is Joe Burrow? Do you think he's there this week? Do you think not? I mean, they are going against the Rams. Can you rest them and still get a W? But do the Bengals get their first W this week?
Well, first things first is we need to stop sleeping on the Rams. I talked about it this offseason, and I thought they could have possibly be a 7-win team, 7-8-win team. And then the whole Cooper Kupp thing happened, and I was like, oh, blow this season up. Cooper Kupp's on IR. He's out for 4 or 5 weeks. Poof. And then they go in there and they beat Seattle. Not only do they beat Seattle, they beat down Seattle. And then the mighty 49ers that we were just talking about, Hoffy, they hung with them all game long. It was just crazy how much they were hanging with the 49ers. It seems like every chance the 49ers start to pull away, here comes the Rams, right? So we need to stop sleeping on the Rams. Now, Joe Burrow, it has been, I feel like people are upset that they did not put him on the IR, because if you remember back when he first had the calf injury, I believe it was Jamar Chase said, hey, man, sit out to week 5, get 100, and we got you. Well, guess what? He did not. He got re-injured last week versus the Baltimore Ravens. So do I think Brock Purdy is 100%? Absolutely not. Absolutely not do I think he is 100% at all. But this is two things that the Bengals have going for them. It is a home game, and it is a Monday night game, right? I do think the Bengals and Joe Burrow do get their first win of the season, but it is going to be ugly. It is going to be the ugliest win that you could possibly think of. I'm talking maybe like 4 or 5 turnovers, and they need like a last-second field goal to win the game. Evan Money McPherson wins in the game. It'd be like 3-0. It is just going to be an ugly, ugly game on both sides of the ball, but they do get the win.
I think you just hand the ball off to Mixon and let him do, Mixon things and just pound the rock. So, but I do, I think they're favored. They are favored by 2.5 points. So I do like them to cover that spread.
John says, nope, Bengals aren't winning. What's up, Junis? He's in the chat. Rams get the victory. Cincinnati must wait. So let me ask you this, Hoffy. You are picking the Bengals to win, right? Me and you both are. John and Junis are both picking the Rams to win. If the Rams beat the Bengals, are the Rams a top 10 team in the NFL?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because I fucking said so.
They went toe-to-toe with the 49ers, and then they beat the mighty Cincinnati Bengals.
But we just talked about them not being mighty. Joe Burrow's not mighty right now.
but their team is. I mean, they're still the mighty Cincinnati Bengals.
Neither of us have them right now in the top 10. So them beating the Bengals ain't going to put them in the top 10 as far as I'm concerned.
But I do have the Chargers up there.
Yeah, well, that's just clickbait.
Is it?
I certainly hope so. Otherwise, you might have been dropped on your head one too many times as a kid.
I do got a little flat spot right there.
So we touched a bit about Justin Fields and how amazing he is, but how many turnovers do you give him this week against the Chiefs?
Oh, this is a 425 game. Arrowhead is going to be rocking, baby. Oh man, I could smell the barbecue right now. I can taste it on my lips. Tastes so good. But if you have not been to Arrowhead at a 4:00 game, you guys are missing out. You don't need tickets. Just go pay for parking, pay your $25 to like park, walk around the parking lot, wear the opposing team jersey, and you'll be the best well-fed person in 15 square miles. I guarantee it. But Justin Fields, it's just when Justin Fields called out their coaching staff of being robotic, they are robotic. Justin Fields backpedals like, I'm not going to call anybody out. Motherfucker called them out. You have this offensive guru. You have Ryan Poles, right? You have DJ Moore. You're supposed to be great. You're supposed to be MVP. Justin Fields throws 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles on Sunday, Hoffy. 4 total turn.
They still got Claypool too.
Still have Claypool. Mr. I don't know the freaking playbook because I'm too dumb to read it, but even though I went to Notre Dame, Jesus.
You got Cole Kmet. I mean, I can't. I think the Bears have got to be running out of excuses at this point as far as, they're not giving him talent. I mean, Cole Kmet, Claypool, Moore. I mean, they've provided him with talent. You could talk about the offensive line, but I think we're running out of excuses for, Justin Fields and not just putting the old Jamarcus Russell bust right on his fucking forehead.
Maybe, just maybe, they're watching too much child porn.
I think on that note, we should probably just end the show.
I mean, sorry, but your defensive coordinator is watching child porn and you guys haven't won a game. Justin Fields has lost 22 straight games as a starter. Or sorry, no, it's 12 straight games. He's 5-22 as a starter. Will the MVP Justin Fields show up? Sure. He will be the MVP for the Kansas City Chiefs, giving them the ball 4 times in a game. Like,
he'll show up, but
yeah. I mean, by halftime, you know how the Pittsburgh Steelers were saying fire Canada, right? They're going to be Nathan Peterman. Hoffy, Nathan Peterman has a 1-14 career starting record with the Buffalo Bills, Raiders, and the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears rather have Nathan Peterman in there than Justin Fields. I'm just calling. I'm just saying.
I think you got to make a call to not San Francisco, pardon me, Pittsburgh. And do a little trade with Pittsburgh. I mean, I think they got a pretty decent backup. I think he could do all right for the
I
Chicago
believe
Bears.
He has better stats than Justin Fields in first 3 seasons. More wins, more passing yards, more QBR. I believe we're talking about Mitchell Trubisky, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. He led the Bears to the playoffs.
Yeah, 13-3, double doink it, but hey, we can't win them all. But Chicago Bears don't know how to draft, and Mitchell Trubisky is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Where's Combsy at when you need him? I would love to see him getting beat red right now, getting underneath that skin. Like, do you guys understand that the Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer on their team ever, Hoffy?
Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware. I let Brandon know about it. I mean, we both let Brandon know about it religiously, but I think after this year, do they clean house once again and start all over?
So listen here. Eberflus and Pools did not draft Justin Fields, right? Justin Fields was his second-year player when they came in last season. Now Pools has kind of done the right thing. Like he is like, hey, he is our guy. He is this, yada, yada, yada. But once off season hits and they're the number 1 overall pick and they have number 1 and number 3 overall picks this season, you know damn well they're getting Caleb Williams. You know
absolutely.
Damn well they're calling the guy from Colorado, Shadur Sanders, right?
Yep.
They're getting one of those quarterbacks. Just if the Bears have the worst record in the NFL, Justin Fields. No, let me put a caveat on just like on that. If the Chicago Bears have 2 wins going into Week 12, Justin Fields will be benched. Nathan Peterman will be the starter, or Tyler Badgett, whoever is the backup at that particular time, and they will draft a quarterback first overall.
I mean, Dion came out, I think it was today, actually. Dion came out and said Shedeur is not number 2 to anybody except for the Buffalo, the Colorado Buffaloes. So
right.
He expects him to be back next year because he is not going to go number 2 behind Caleb Williams. So, but I mean, I think anyone outside of Cincinnati and, Kansas City would be crazy not to draft Caleb Williams if they had that number 1 pick.
This is the problem with the NIL deals, right? Is Shedeur,
that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, and Shedeur, I just saw him with Coach Prime as a KFC commercial. I'm sure they got paid for that, couple million easily. I mean, honestly, if I am a college player and I am a top projected player, right? And I know it's my senior year, and I know I don't want to go play for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't want to go play for the Chicago Bears. And if my college team isn't in the national championship hunt, oh, my back hurts. Oh, shit, my back hurts. I can't play the final 7 games of the season. I want my draft to drop stock to 15, 16, 17th overall. How magic would that be if a Caleb Williams went to a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like the Dallas Cowboys, hell, like the Minnesota Vikings? Like, I'm just saying.
I mean, you can't go to the Buccaneers if they're going to be winning the NFC South.
Well, if
he's
you
have
a
he's not going to be around at 16.
And you drop down to 16, 17, 18, most of those teams are not looking for quarterbacks. So you move up a little bit, bada bing, bada boom, and Alpha Rob's right. 3 years and Fields hasn't gotten any better. I would say to say he has digressed this season. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think year over year he's really digressed. But
Junis says the Bears are the worst performance of all 32 teams so far. I mean, that's normal. That's normal. And his dad isn't leaving Colorado. Yeah, did you hear that Coach Prime is going to be the next hot NFL coaching candidate too?
No, absolutely not.
So there,
I love me some Dion, but
I don't like to speak on college football that much, just because I do watch it, I do enjoy it, but I don't digest it like I do the NFL game. The reason why Coach Prime is so successful in Colorado is because he literally took the whole team, threw it in the shredder, and paid for every player to come in. Now, he physically did not pay for those players, but the boosters and Ford and Toyota and KFC paid for all those players, right? Those players, like, I want to play for Coach Prime because I want to be on TV. Do you realize every time they promote a Colorado game on ESPN, Hoffy, it is not Travis Hunter. It is not Shedeur Sanders. It is Coach Prime taking on the Oregon Ducks. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, if Coach Prime goes to the NFL, it will not be a complete overhaul like he did in Colorado. The only reason why he is successful there right now, and I'm not hating, I'm just calling facts, is the facts is that he literally got the best players from all over the country to come to Boulder, Colorado. They get to smoke weed.
Don't be shitting on Boulder. Boulder's a pretty sweet place.
It is a pretty sweet place. It's a beautiful city. You get to smoke weed, you get to listen to some gangster rap, and you have Coach Prime, right? What else better do you want? Guess what? You can't do that in the NFL. You can't smoke weed. You can't listen to gangster rap on the sideline because that's politically incorrect.
Did you see their practice when they were they had big, huge boombox speakers following their
They were simulating sound noise. You know what we did at K-State when we simulated sound noise, Hoffy? We went our inside practice facility and they played music inside the practice facility. They didn't hire some coaches to walk around with big ass boom boxes. Go inside your practice facility on the inside and play music. Like, come on. Jesus. It is all for freaking show.
Oh, absolutely. Also, I think he is a leader of boys or leader of young men. I think you put him in with a bunch of grown ass men. There's going to be egos and everything else that are going to get in the way, and winning cures everything. But any new coach has to implement their structure. Most of the time, you're not going to be lucky to find a situation where you come in and win right away. So I think it would be rough seas for any team that brings in Deion Sanders as a head coach.
Or I mean, like, yes, the awe of playing for a Hall of Famer would kind of be there, but I think that all kind of wears out once the second game hits. You're like, man, we're getting smacked in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You ready to end it?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. End it. End it.
No, you end it.
You end it, baby.
All right. That is it for us at Man Hour After Dark, everybody. Thank you so much for all the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Smash that like button. But for now, we out. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Sunday night football, Monday. We'll see you. We out.
Bye.